Yeah, no, it is. It's like traveling through time, back to a time when recorded videos. It's a completely different place with the noises of the creaking house that I wonder if you can hear, but all of that's entirely unimportant. Hello, how are you doing? It's it's nice to be here. Whatever that means, because I can't see you or anything, but it's nice to be here, and I'm happy to you know be the person receiving your attention at this moment. I hope you like the drawing. I'm not going to talk a lot about the drawing itself. Um, so it just this is a weird one anyway. It's very chaotic and angsty kind of. So let's see how it goes. It's very weird, but it's very much like my state of mind right now. So I figured it was a good fit. Um, just going down the list of stuff to talk about. Well, I don't have a list, but there's a million things on my mind. It's a big list, and that could is obvious stuff like, man, times have been tough. Yeah, they have. I've been behind and not posting, and got a lot of shit to catch up on. A lot of people that I've got to catch up with. A lot of things that I've left undone, responsibilities, commitments, and things like that. Um, yeah, been focusing on myself a lot, which is selfish in a way, but I've needed it. Mental health stuff has been tough. Don't know what that looks like. I'm still working on that every day, but always moving forward. And whatever you're going through, like I touched on difficult things. I know we're all going through something. Whatever it is, it's just the nature of things right now. Whatever you're going through, whatever you have gone through, I wish you strength. I wish you growth and healing and all of that. And that's been a lot of what I've been focusing on, asking myself big questions about what's really important in life. Some of you may know I was injured some time ago, and I'm talking ancient history, a year ago or whatever, year and a half ago. Haha. And it's been a process. I kind of, fell apart a little bit. And I think it's okay to fall apart. I wish I would have done it in a better way. I wish I, could have given notice or something. But oftentimes I just find myself beating myself up about these things. And while I often think of these things reflected within my own self, I hope that you can find similar perspective when dealing with trials and tribulations in your life. That it's not necessarily being selfish to take care of yourself, because you got to take care of yourself to take care of pretty much everything else. And it's been a realization in my life that I've left a lot of things um, fall out of maintenance, whether it be with myself, relationships. It's kind of all across the board. Um, and regardless of the things that I've done and the places that I've been, those trials and tribulations will always be present, just in different forms. And I find that it's not, you know, the the lessons we learn to get through to face specific issues, like how to solve a specific problem, but it's the experience of just going through the shit and uh, hurting and healing and learning and growing and realizing your mistakes and shortcomings, and wanting to see something different, not only in yourself but in the world around you. And I the injury made me think a lot about my relationship with art. Um, the physical aspect of the injury sure kept me from drawing, and it still does in some way. I've had to adjust a lot of my habits, which is blah blah blah. I draw mostly in pencil now. I can't really do fine ink. Maybe I'll talk about it some other time. But enough about that. The general concept is the relationship with art, and the physical aspects held me back, but like more so, I found the mental aspects were holding me back. Even my wrist healed to a point where I could draw. I couldn't get over the mental hurdle, the mental thing that needed to be healed or addressed in order for me to move forward. And God, I'm not sitting here because I figured it out. I'm sitting here because that's a good question. I don't because because this is important, because it's important to me. It's important to me. I spend all this time in my own head. I'm a very solitary person at times, and even more so when, I'm going through something and I just feel like I want to withdraw and shut myself off. And, while I don't necessarily love that behavior, I know that there is some aspect of it that is important because my body's asking for it. At least, maybe a safe place to retreat to. But I've been trying to balance the positives and the negatives of that because I'm not gonna lie, I love my solitude. I like to be alone. I like to speak inwardly instead of outwardly. Um, but relationships are still important to me, just not necessarily, you know, in the traditional way that I think is kind of expected, where, it's a very social driven system. I really don't know how to break it down. Um, but I'm asking myself the questions: how can I maintain relationships and still put parts of myself out into the world and let people see me while, doing that in a way that is safe and comfortable and is something that I'm enthusiastic about, rather than I feel a lot of times, a pressure to be a certain thing or do a certain thing or act a certain way. And that it's not good. It doesn't feel good. It gets too heavy after a while. And there is, I think a lot of value placed in stoicism of picking yourself up by your bootstraps and, soldiering through the pain, whatever you want to call it. But, there cannot be balance without, two different things at least, and with any sort of problem that you deal with, like, you can acknowledge your pain while also being strong and moving forward. And man, I've gone a long time without really sitting with the things that are difficult for me. Like, I've always put it off, or, you know, tried to ignore it, or whatever. I've not addressed it. That's the point. And, like, once again, I don't know what it looks like going forward, but, I just want to be open about this stuff. And I also, want to, going forward, I guess I don't want to call it a warning because I'm not trying to alarm or shock anyone or make anyone feel bad or, get triggered or anything like that. But I'll probably be talking about some stuff that is potentially difficult, you know, emotional stuff, which is part of the balance that I'm trying to acknowledge. Is I don't want to deny the negative aspects of myself. I don't want to glorify those negative aspects, but the things I'm thinking of are, in terms of my mental health, which, is like depression, feelings of worthlessness, and thoughts of suicide and things like that. So if those things are sensitive for you, and just, mental health issues in general, and I mean, if you've seen my work, you probably get kind of an idea of what to watch out for. Just bear in mind, just put a friendly warning for anyone who's going through stuff, because I know that, even if you feel like you've got a good handle on whatever you're going through, sometimes coming across something that you're not ready for can be difficult, or, have whatever effect. So just keep that in mind, going forward, especially in like videos and stuff. And, I mean, with my work in general, like, kind of tends to be, on the darker side sometimes. Whatever that means. It's all relative. But wrapping up here, I am, I don't know. I don't have some snappy tagline. I don't have, and I can say, like, hey, I'm doing fine. I'm not, I'm whatever. I'm whatever I am right now. I'm sitting here recording this video, and I'm glad you took the time to watch it and listen and hear my things that I'm saying. Hear my words. So, long story short, I'll see you again soon. take good care of yourself. Like seriously, to take really good care of yourself. Like really, really